All right, you guys, welcome back to the Cali Veil channel. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Big news in the auto industry. I should have saved this story for the auto page, but this channel is more important as I'm trying to get it to 1K. So we'll worry about the auto page later. And then if you want to see the car enthusiast things in general that I do, follow me on Instagram, or should I say IG. Now, Nissan, a beloved Japanese car brand, which couldn't keep up with Toyota and Honda. Anyway, Nissan CEO, the new one, reveals a self-help strategy for the future. So recently appointed chief executive Ivan Espinosa gave his own analysis of the Japanese automaker situation, which is not that good. Story was today by James Ochoa. Don't know who the hell that is, but anyway, as you can see in this picture right here, that's the 2025 Nissan Altima SV Special Edition. Looks like a nice shiny blue jelly bean of a car, right? But as we all know, the quality's not all there. So Nissan is expecting some tough losses, along with 20,000 job cuts. Ouch. So earlier this week, appointed Nissan CEO gave a stern and consequential diagnosis on what needed to steer the company from the red and into the black. Among the steps detailed in a plan titled Re-Nissan: heavy streamlining and consolidation of the automaker's current assets. His turnaround plan includes an increased number of job cuts. People and closing 7 of its car factories. That's a lot, 7 factories closing. Among other moves meant to slim down Nissan's footprint. He categorized these moves as a very, very painful and sad decision to take that is necessary for the survival of Nissan. So they're pretty much hanging on to a thread of rope at this moment. And then this is the former CEO right here. He looked like Mr. Bean. Hella funny looking. But anyway, Espinosa did anything to fix Nissan until now. And he's a car enthusiast too. So he's going to bring the GTR back, luckily. Thank God. I just don't know if it'll be as good as the past generations of it. So during a recent interview conducted by Motor Trend, the former Espinosa CEO person did not mince words about the situation Nissan is in, categorizing the situation as the backlash resulting from heavy spending on a failed attempt to increase sales by doubling its series production and growing its headcount. Well, you can't really double the production right now because people are told not to buy these new cars because that's a extra $1,000 you could keep in your pocket, let alone your bank to invest in. So people are telling us not to buy these new cars, but then they're telling us to get in debt with these new houses that we couldn't afford, let alone a 1-bedroom apartment. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense to me. I think the car will be cheaper than taking on a whole mortgage with other liabilities with that. Anyway, the current situation is not something that happened in just the last few years. It's more of a fundamental problem that probably started back in 2015 when management thought this company could reach annual global vehicle sales of around 8 million. Yeah, right, you're not Toyota. And that's what the CEO said. There were heavy investments both in terms of planned capacity as well as in human resources. But the reality today is we are running at around half of that volume. And nobody did anything to fix that until now. Let's see. And see, most CEOs, they have a clean shaven face. This guy looked like he just, whatever. Anyway, the new CEO is claiming we can't rely on anybody. Duh. See, here's the thing. This is where Nissan went downhill. When the former CEO, Galvin, stepped in. So I'll say around about after 2002, after that nice Nissan Maxima, when the Nissan Maxima got the facelift after the 90s, you remember that 2000 Nissan Maxima. It was from 2000 to 2002. That was a very short generation for that Nissan Maxima. I think that was I wouldn't say it was one of the best ones, but that was a good looking car for a 25-year-old car till now. I still see some now till this day. And some of them are in good condition and some are in beat up. I mean, because it's a 25-year-old car. It's not going to look good unless it's garage kept with a new paint job, right? But prior to Espinosa's tenure as the CEO of Nissan, His predecessor, Makoto Uchida, led the automaker to some positive results in 2022 and 2023. However, fortunes flipped in 2024 as declining sales, disappointing financial results, as well as failed merger negotiations with Honda led to resignation and departure in March. That deal would have been epic too. Honda and Nissan together. I mean, it's not a bad idea. Two Japanese brands merging together, what's wrong with that? They already have Mitsubishi. So we could go along with Toyota and Subaru too. Toyota owns a quarter of Subaru. A lot of you guys don't know that. But the downfall is Subaru's doesn't have the reliability of Toyota, and it probably never will. So, despite the restructuring plan that initially began developing during his predecessor's tenure, Espinosa said that he and the automaker is confident in keeping the turnaround plan pillars around cost reduction, around product and market strategies, and around partnerships, adding that Nissan needs to work out its problem on its own and not rely on people like Honda or whatever other company that wants to step in and buy it. We need self-help. We cannot rely on anybody. Adding that Nissan is in a good financial standing to pull itself out. Yeah, seeing is believing. There was a huge pile of debt and there was no cash in the bank. Today, I mean, that's a lot of people's situation in general. But today I have more than 15 million in the bank plus committed lines of credit. Wow, he's making it sound promising. So this message here is we have time. The cash position of the company is good, but we have to move quickly. Yeah, you do, especially if you're trying to compete with Toyota and the other ones. So this looks like the future lineup of the cars right here. Interesting. Not bad. Of course, they look like all EVs. I'm a petrol head, so I don't want none of these cars. Though Nissan has strong ties with Renault, as well as technology partnership with Mitsubishi and Honda. Sorry, I heard something. Espinosa noted that he is avoiding a situation where Nissan is hostage to one particular automaker or another partner that collaborates with it, adding that he wants to leverage its strengths on the table. And I agree with him. The struggle is real. But the real struggle is temporary. You just have to keep a positive mindset. So it takes the right CEO to step in and say, hey, look, we could do this. It's not so bad. We got this, and that. Let me see. Is this the end of the article? No. We're going to step into the final thoughts too. We are looking at partners that can bring some more corporate value and support to Nissan in the long term. We have a lot to offer, a lot to value, and a lot of engineering value to offer. And this is what we want to discuss with potential partners. So they still want to partner up with somebody. The final thoughts. There are many levers that have to be pulled in order for Nissan to get out of the mess, which includes introducing new cars. More than 10 new models are slated for the US and Canada within the next few years, including a new Leaf, a new Sentra, a new Rogue, and possibly a new Xterra. That's the vehicle I want to see come back, the Xterra. Because the old one had stadium seats in the back. It was nice. Like, it kind of sat up in the back. It was nice, like you were sitting on the stage. But however, running a car company is much more than producing fun cars. I do appreciate Espinosa's blunt, no-nonsense approach and attitude towards tackling the problems triggered by the brand's past. But as it is, time, the ink, and the future financial sheets will tell if restructuring is effective. I mean, yeah, you pretty much got to give it a chance. And I think they can come back because Nissan always made nice cars, even back in the day. They even had, you remember, I don't know if you guys are old enough to remember this, but the 1985 Nissan Maxima, the box. It looked similar to the Camry. It was right before the Camry was born. But it was a talking car. And if you think I'm lying, check out Doug DeMuro. He did a review on it a few years ago. The car basically talked to you. And I think that was one of the first cars where no, they didn't have the keypad then, did they? It was something where you could roll the windows down without being in the car. I think it was a trick you did with the key in the door. But anyway, this is Kyle Vale. I hope you enjoyed this. I did because I'm a petrol head, and hopefully Nissan doesn't go all electric. Peace.